Why I regret moving into a nursing home. 6 hard truths. This could be your story or that of a loved one's. It was actually exciting and something I looked forward to, a new stimulating chapter in my life. I thought moving into a nursing home would give me peace of mind and safety in my golden years. I'm sharing the 6 brutal truths that nobody warned me about before I made what I now consider one of the biggest mistakes of my life. If you or someone you love is considering this decision, please watch until the end, because what I'm about to share could change everything. When I first walked through those polished hallways with my daughter, everything seemed perfect. The staff was friendly, the rooms were clean, and they promised me care and companionship. But what they didn't tell me was how quickly I would lose the very essence of who I am as a person. These aren't just minor inconveniences I'm talking about. These are fundamental changes that happen to almost everyone who makes this transition, and they start happening faster than you might imagine. The first crushing reality hit me within my very first week, and it's something that catches every new resident off guard. I'm talking about the complete loss of independence, and I mean complete. You wake up thinking you can start your day when you feel ready, maybe have your coffee while watching the sunrise like you've done for decades. But that's not how it works here. Everything operates on their schedule, not yours. Breakfast is served at 7:30 sharp, whether you're hungry or not. Lunch is at noon, dinner at 5. If you miss these times because you're not feeling well or simply want to sleep in one morning, too bad. The kitchen closes, and you'll have to wait hours for the next meal or settle for whatever snacks they might have available. But it goes beyond just meal times. Want to take a walk outside? You need to check with the nurse first. Want to visit a friend down the hall? Make sure it's during designated social hours. Even something as basic as taking a shower becomes a scheduled event that revolves around staff availability rather than your personal preferences or comfort. I remember the morning I wanted to sit in the garden early to watch the birds. I've been an early riser my entire life, finding peace in those quiet morning moments. But I was told the outdoor areas don't open until 9 a.m. for safety reasons. That might sound reasonable, but when you've spent 8 decades making your own decisions about when and where to spend your time, having someone else control these basic choices feels like losing a piece of your soul. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. The second truth that nobody prepared me for is how quickly you become forgotten by the world. This one really broke my heart because it happens so gradually that you don't notice it until the damage is done. In the beginning, my family visited regularly. My daughter came twice a week, my son drove up from the city every Sunday, and my grandchildren would pop in after school. But life has a way of moving forward, and when you're not actively part of it anymore, you start fading from people's daily thoughts. Those twice weekly visits became once a week, then every other week. My son's Sunday visits turned into monthly visits, then holiday-only appearances. The grandchildren got busy with sports, friends, and growing up. Before I knew it, weeks would pass without seeing a familiar face from my old life. The worst part is understanding why this happens. I'm no longer part of their daily routine or their problems to solve. I'm not there to help with homework, to babysit when needed, or to share in their daily victories and struggles. I became something they visit rather than someone they live with and depend on. The phone calls help, but they're often hurried conversations squeezed between their real responsibilities. The third devastating reality is the complete loss of purpose that creeps in slowly but hits you like a freight train. For my entire adult life, I had things that needed doing. I maintained my home, tended my garden, cooked meals, paid bills, helped neighbors, volunteered at church. Even the mundane tasks gave structure and meaning to my days. Here, everything is done for you, which sounds wonderful in theory, but becomes a nightmare in practice. They make your bed, clean your room, prepare your meals, organize activities, manage your medications, even remind you when it's time to shower. While the staff means well, being on the receiving end of constant care without contributing anything meaningful in return is soul-crushing. I used to grow tomatoes that my neighbors looked forward to every summer. I used to balance my checkbook, plan my grocery trips, and research the best deals on everything from insurance to household items. These weren't burdens. They were the small responsibilities that made me feel capable and needed. Now my days stretch endlessly with nothing that truly needs my attention or expertise. The activities they provide are often infantilizing. Bingo, craft time, movie afternoons that feel more like keeping children occupied than engaging intelligent adults who've lived full, complex lives. When I suggested we start a book club focusing on historical biographies, I was told it might be too challenging for some residents. This attitude of protecting us from anything mentally stimulating accelerates the very decline they claim to be preventing. The fourth shocking truth is how rapidly your physical condition deteriorates once you stop using your body regularly. I walked into this place using only a cane occasionally for balance on uneven surfaces. I cooked my own meals, climbed stairs to my bedroom every night, and maintained my own household. I wasn't an athlete, but I was reasonably mobile and independent. Within 6 months, I needed a walker. Within a year, I was spending most of my day in a wheelchair. This wasn't because of a medical crisis or sudden illness. This happened because well-meaning staff began doing more and more tasks for me in the name of safety and efficiency. Instead of letting me walk to the dining room at my own pace, they brought meals to my room. Instead of encouraging me to dress myself, they helped to save time during their busy schedules. What they call assistance becomes dependency faster than anyone warns you about. Your muscles weaken from lack of use. Your balance deteriorates when you stop challenging it daily. Your stamina disappears when everything is brought to you instead of requiring you to move around. The very help that's supposed to support you ends up disabling you in ways that feel irreversible. I've watched this same pattern happen to dozens of residents. People who arrive walking independently end up confined to wheelchairs not because they physically had to, but because the system gradually removes every opportunity for them to maintain their strength and mobility. The fifth brutal reality is the complete elimination of privacy and personal dignity. This might be the hardest one to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it, but it fundamentally changes how you see yourself as a human being. Every aspect of your life becomes monitored, scheduled, and managed by others. You share your living space with a roommate you didn't choose, who may have completely different habits, sleep schedules, or personal hygiene standards. Your conversations can be overheard, your visitors are noted, and your daily routines are observed and documented. Staff members enter your space without knocking, make decisions about your care without consulting you, and discuss your personal information within earshot of other residents and visitors. The loss of dignity hits hardest during personal care moments. Tasks you've performed privately your entire life suddenly require assistance and supervision. The staff tries to be professional and respectful, but there's no way to maintain your sense of adult autonomy when someone else is helping you with intimate personal needs while discussing what they're making for dinner tonight. Even simple things like receiving mail or making phone calls can become complicated by staff who believe they're protecting you from scams or managing your communications for your own good. The line between helpful oversight and infantilizing control gets crossed daily in ways that chip away at your identity as a capable adult. The sixth and final hard truth is perhaps most the devastating truth of all. It is how difficult it becomes to leave once you're here. What everyone presents as a temporary safety measure while you recover or adjust becomes a permanent situation faster than anyone expects. The longer you stay, the more impossible returning to independent living becomes. Your house requires maintenance you're no longer physically able to manage. Your family has reorganized their lives around your absence and may not be equipped to provide the support you'd need at home. Your physical condition has likely declined to the point where living alone seems genuinely dangerous. The financial costs of transitioning back, including home modifications and private care, can be overwhelming. Most importantly, your confidence in your ability to manage independently erodes with each passing month. Tasks that once seemed routine now feel overwhelming because you're out of practice. The outside world starts feeling foreign and intimidating after months of institutional living. What began as a temporary solution becomes a permanent reality that feels increasingly impossible to escape. I don't regret getting older, and I don't regret needing more support as I age. But I deeply regret believing that a nursing home was my only option when my family first started expressing concerns about my safety. Looking back, I wish I had fought harder to explore alternatives, demanded more creative solutions, and insisted on maintaining my independence for as long as physically possible. If you're watching this because you or someone you love is facing this decision, please remember that nursing homes should be a last resort, not a first solution. Explore home health services, adult day programs, home modifications, family support systems, and community resources before giving up the independence and dignity that define who you are as a person. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them, because reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you.